Hello guys, welcome back to the channel. So I want us to do a review of the strategy and a check on US oil. So far it is going as we had planned. So we are just going to do a little review to see what is happening on US oil. So before we proceed, you guys are going to be subscribing to the channel. We are on the road to 300 subscribers. Subscribe and be part of the community. So I'm just going to give you 5 seconds. You subscribe and then we continue with our analysis on US oil. So far everything is playing out as planned. There was a manipulation when the market opened. This was at 1 a.m. There was manipulation. However, the drop is coming. The way, guys, things are looking good. Things are looking good on US oil. Things are looking very good on US oil, just like we had anticipated. The thing is it's playing out just like we had anticipated. The trade is playing out on US oil. So I'm just going to be taking you through what transpired and we see what is next. Okay guys, so subscribe 5 seconds and then we proceed. Excuse me, trying to take some good water here. Okay, so now let's proceed with our video. This is US oil and this is the 1 hour time frame. So what do we do? First things first, we go to the weekly weekly time frame. So we said when you go to the weekly, what do? We are going to mark the opening and closing price of the previous week's candle. Then do we see the trend of the market? The trend of the market was down, but we had a medium retracement, which was a small uptrend. So, and I also told you there was a trend line that was passing here, and this was looking like a third touch on that trend line. Guys, you get me? This was looking like a third touch on that trend line. And then I told you we have also a weekly supply zone around this area. So we had around 4 reasons that were suggesting that we should go we should go down. The first reason is we were in a downtrend. Lower high, lower low, lower low, lower high, lower low, lower high, lower low. So this is looking like a lower high. And then on this lower high here, we had it is called what? The supply zone there. So that is reason number 2. Reason number 3, we had a trend line. So on the weekly, we had a trend line, we had a supply zone, and then the trend was in downtrend. So this was going to be a third touch on the trend line. And you know, guys, if we had third touch on the trend line happens, in most cases, we always fall or go up. Okay, so now after we drop down to one time frame lower. So when we drop down one time frame lower, we go to the daily. The daily, it was the same thing. This touch almost it hit there, but no. So what happened is the daily was also at the supply zone. There was a trend line that was a limiting price from going up. So did we see any extra information on the daily? No. Good. So now we drop down to the 4 hour. Guys, these things are supposed to be as simple as they can be. So when we go down to the 4 hour, what did we say? Price was still up here. Price was up here, not even up here. Monday, price was here Friday, good, price was here on this green candle here. So we drew this trend line. You can check the previous video. We drew this trend line up, and even I turned it red, and then I said if indeed price is going to sell, it has to come and cross below this trend line, remove some supply zones, and then we shall be looking to sell. However, we will not sell direct, we will go for confirmation entries on the lower time frame. Also, there was demand, there was supply zone here, which we did not enter because we wanted a confirmation. Price was here. However, when it opened today, it skipped up there. They decided dropping. This was a manipulation. They knew a lot of people were selling from this area, so they just took the stop losses, and then price immediately started selling. So when we came to the 1 hour, now here it was even more clear. So when we come to the 1 hour, what happened? When we come to the 1 hour, this is it. I drew this trend line touching this one touch point, two touch points, and then price was around here. Price was around here Friday. Yes. So I said if price wants to sell, it will first have to come and cross this trend line. This is the opening price of that previous week. So price will have to come and cross this trend line, and to be on the safe side, also cross below the opening price of last week. There we shall be looking for supply zones around that area to sell. Yes, around that area to sell. Then price opened, did not respect the supply zone. There's a manipulation that took price up. In fact, it started from up here. So if you had put your limit orders here, you were stopped out, and then price continued down. However, after the manipulation, price came back to its normality. Then it went up to test the trend line, which it tested perfectly. You can see the precision on testing that trend line. And remember, this trend line, we drew it on a Sunday when price is not even near there. Can I get? Yes, you see, we drew it on Sunday, price was not even near there. But if you check the precision with which price retested on that trend line, it is just amazing. It is just amazing. So price tested the trend line and immediately started dropping. So now what have we seen? We see that price has crossed our trend line, the mini trend line that the momentum line that we drew on the 1 hour for confirmations entries. Remember, we said we are no longer going to be entering on, okay, not no longer, but most of the trades, if we're not comfortable with the supply or demand zones that are provided, we are not going to be setting buy or sell limits. We are going to be entering with the confirmation entries. Good. So now this 1 hour candle has crossed our momentum line. So this is how our typical confirmation entries will look like. So now, since the momentum line has been crossed, we do not enter from there. You see, price has been up, but finally it has crossed, so we do not enter from there. This supply zone has been removed, this one is being removed. We would prefer even this one to be removed, as long as it can do that and go down here, or okay, stand here, then it retraces back. Then we shall be looking for a supply zone, which I see it is creating here. So let's see how this candle closes. If it closes as a bearish full candle, then this one will be qualifying for supply zone. So we shall mark it and then wait for price to retrace from here up to there. As it touches the supply zone, it is also retracing on the trend line and also testing the closing price of the previous week, and then we start selling. So there we shall be so confident in our trade that it is going down. So what we are having so far is a cross of the trend line, and that is what I wanted to show you guys. Most of the pairs are not yet ready as the way we wanted them to be, but this one is looking promising. So what are we going to do? We are seated on our hands. We have a supply zone here, a demand zone here, though it is not that good demand zone, but since it is on the opening price, I don't know where we can get this. Let me see if we can get it on the 30-minute. Nope, not there. Not there. 15. Guys, it is not clear anywhere. Let me see on the 4-hour. 4-hour, they're just wicks. Wow, look at the 4-hour, the way it is moving. The trend line has just been closed, and this trend line was holding price for the whole of the previous week. If I can see how many days has it been holding price. 6 days. The whole of last week, this trend line has been holding price. For finally, price has broken. And let me see, 3 hours. Nope. 2 hours. Guys, there is no clear area for the demand zone. The only thing we have here is that price is at the closing price, the opening price of last week's candle. That is the only thing that we have. The rest, nope. So now we shall be waiting for price to come and retest here, probably take out even this area. If it takes out that area, then it makes the trade even more valid. Look at the demand zone that we have, very far. So if it takes out even this area, the trade is going to be more valid. So now there we'll be looking for a supply zone up here, which will also act as a retest on the trend line and a retest on the closing price of the previous week, and then we shall be selling massively. Where is the target for our sales? In case it gives us an entry, we are going to be selling up to down here, up to $62.927 per barrel down there. So for now, we shall wait just patiently as we see what price action is doing. For now, we shall patiently wait as we monitor what price action is doing on that area. Okay guys, I think yes, the demand zone is here, but it was tested. Yes. We only have this one down. Okay, that is all guys. In case you've learned something from the video, kindly like, share, and also comment anything you want me to make a video about. I'll gladly make that video explaining anything. So that is all for today guys. Subscribe to the channel guys. We are on the road to 300 subscribers. That is all. Bye.